Good morning. Now we are going to see about mutation theory in the plant called evening primrose plant, Enothora lamarckiana. The variations in them, it is mainly due to different colored flowers. It is due to mutation. So this mutation theory was first put forth, or it was first proposed by a scientist called Hugo de Vries. Evolution in evolution, mutation theory. Mutation, what is mutation? A sudden change in the chromosome number or chromosome structure, and this mutation leads to variation, and variation leads to evolution, that we know. So this mutation theory was proposed by Hugo de Vries. According to him, there is sudden and large variations or mainly because of mutation or mutagenic agents, urease. These are responsible for variation and origin of new species. And the term mutation was first proposed by the person called Hugo de Vries. So he conducted various experiments in the uh, plant called evening primrose plant, and of various color he formed due to mutation, and this plant is known as evening primrose plant, Enothera lamarckiana. Okay, and this plant he showed and proved many mutation leads to various coloration in the flowers. So what are the salient features, the characteristic features of the mutation theory? So mutations, we call it as sudden changes, large changes due to mutagenic agents, and that leads to variation. It may be a discontinuous variation, and these mutational variations, they are transmitted to next generation. That is the first point. So mutation or discontinuous variation, it is transmitted to the next generation. So usually in a natural population, naturally breeding population, this mutation occur time to time. It won't occur frequently, but various time it will occur. But when the mutation occur, there is no intermediate forms. For example, if there is white color and black color, and that particular color rule is fully flourished or fully fledged, more in number, there is no intermediate color in between. Like this mutation theory, the changes occur. They are strictly subjected to natural selection. So mutation leads to variation, and if the changes or variations are selected by the natural selection, means the number will increase, right? Now, mutation theory we said. Now we'll see about the next theory is called modern synthetic theory. Modern synthetic theory in evolution, which involves five important basic factors. Okay, these factors, five factors that leads to the process of evolution. Okay, so what are the five different factors? Who proposed this? We'll see one by one. Sewell Wright, Fisher, Mayer, Huxley, Dobzhansky, Simpson, Haeckel, all these persons, okay, they proposed the natural selection at the post-Darwinian discoveries. According to these different persons, there are five important basic factors involved. We'll see one by one. The first one is gene mutation. Already I said about mutation is sudden and large changes will occur in the gene structure, or chromosome number. And if it occur in the gene, particular structure of the gene alone, the changes occur, then the mutation is called gene mutation or point mutation. So changes in the structure of the gene is called gene mutation or point mutation. So it alters or changes the phenotype of the organism that leads to variation. Alters means changes the phenotype. Phenotype means the external characters will vary. Okay, so in evening primrose plant, Enothera lamarckiana, the color of the flowers, it will change different colors because that is a phenotype character due to gene variations leads to. Chromosomal mutation means not a single gene structure changes. Here the changes in the structure of the chromosome. There are four different ways the chromosomal structure changes due to deletion, addition, duplication, inversion or translocation. These chromosomal mutation changes, it alter or changes the phenotype and leads to variation. So we'll see what is the meaning for deletion, duplication, inversion, and translocation. So first one, deletion. So this is the chromosomal part, and this particular part of the chromosome is deleted, removed. Then it is called as deletion. So the size will be reduced, chromosome size. And what is duplication? This particular portion of the chromosome is repeated again. So it's called as duplication. If here A, B, C genes are there, once again the same particular part of the chromosome is repeated again. So it's called duplication. Now what is inversion? The particular portion of the chromosome, it is inverted. Talakila Maria right? This is called inversion. This part, this lower portion coming to the upper portion and the upper portion coming to the lower portion. So this is called inversion. Lower portion to the upper portion, upper portion to the lower portion. Inversion. Now what is translocation? So here you can see the pairing up of chromosome. These are two chromosomes are here and this particular part is cut and this part is cut. Both are replaced. You can see the position is changed. Okay, this brown color is attached to the green color and green color is attached to the brown color. So this is location change. It's called as translocation. So first I said about gene mutation, point mutation. Changes in the structure of the gene leads to phenotypic change and variation. Second one I said chromosomal mutation. Changes in the structure of chromosome due to deletion, addition, duplication, okay, and inversion or translocation. What is the two factors I said? The alter the phenotype, external characters, and leads to variation. So five basic factors in organic evolution process. Two already we have seen. The next one we'll see. What is genetic recombination? So due to crossing over of the genes. So during meiosis and the crossing over occur between the pairing up of chromosome. So the two homologous chromosome they lie parallel to each other and their chromosome material along with the genes they are just exchanged. This is called the crossing over. Crossing over of the genes during meiosis or reduction division occur and it leads to genetic variation that is inheritable. So this blue color and green color exchange or we call it as recombination. Green color get attached here, blue color attached here. So if it is one is having the genotype capital A dominant, another one with the small a recessive, due to recombination, capital A, capital A, small a. Like this recombination occurs, so it leads to genetic variation and that is inherited to the next generation. And what is natural selection? Natural selection, it does not produce its genetic variation. But whatever changes occur due to recombination, mutation, if these variations are favorable, favorable for the organism, so it is selected by the nature. It favors the genetic changes, but if the changes or variations are not favorable, these are rejected. So natural selection, it does not produce any genetic variation. Variationலாம் வராது. ஆனா, whatever genetic changes occur, if it is favored for the organism, அந்த ஆர்கானிசம்க்கு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தா that is selected by the nature. If it is not favorable means that particular character variation is rejected. So natural selection is a kind of driving force of evolution. So what is the fifth factor? Reproductive isolation. It prevents interbreeding between related organisms. So all the organisms they are species specific. They can breed among only their own species. So we call it as intra-specific. They can identify the various species and do not interbreed with other species. So that is called as reproductive isolation. So we have studied five different basic factors in modern synthetic theory: gene mutation, chromosomal mutation, genetic recombination, natural selection, and reproductive isolation. So same thing, organic evolution is based on five different factors: gene mutation, chromosomal mutation, genetic recombination, natural selection, and reproductive isolation, isn't it? Now, evolution, it occurs by human activities. It is called as anthropogenic sources. Anthropogenic means only because of human being. human activities. Anthropo means human being. So anthropogenic sources or human activities and sources leads to variation that leads to natural selection. So natural selection in an example is industrial melanism. So industrial melanism. Melanism means melanin pigmentation due to industrial cases. So industrial melanism, it is an important classical important case of natural selection. It is exhibited by a particular insect called peppered moth. So the peppered moth, its zoological name is Biston betularia. What is it called? Biston betularia. And these are available in two colors, white color and black color. So before industrialization, at first ancient peppered moth, they were white and black color. That is common moth or insect in England. So before industrialization, so before more industries are predominant, these peppered moth, they are white in color. We call it as pre-industrialization witness, white color background of the wall of the building. So white color moths only selected by the nature, they escape from their predators, enemies. But what happened? More industries were started its function and leads to industrialization. After post-industrialization, the tree trunk it became white color tree trunk it became dark color due to the smoke and soot particles let out from the industry. So the black moth, that is the white color moth of distant betularia, now black moth, chemophilage. What is chemophilage? Changes its body color, skin color. On the dark bark of the trees, they want to get escape from the predators. So white color moths, they change their body color into dark color. So dark bark of the trees and the white moth were easily identified by their predators. So in the dark bark of the trees, if there is white moths are there, they can be identified by their predators, like birds. So to escape from their predators, the dark colored moth population was selected by the nature and their number increased. So white color moths are reduced, but black color moths are increased due to post-industrialization. The tree trunks became dark in color due to smoke and soot particles. If they are white color moths are easily identified by predators, so the dark color moth population was selected, isn't it? So this is human activity. What is the human activity? Industrialization that leads to the industrial melanism in peppered moth called Biston petularia. Now see the picture in natural selection by industrial melanism. Before industrialization, all the white peppered moth you can see here. Okay, in the tree trunk, white peppered moth. Okay, its color is white. But this is pre-industrialization time. After that, post-industrialization, more industries were predominant. The same particular white peppered moth, Biston betularia, they hemophilage and change their body color into black color. Why? To escape from the predator. But there are number of white moths also there, but they are very less in number. But number of this black moth is more in number after industrialization because the black color moth are selected by the nature, and this is called industrial melanism. Natural selection by industrial melanism. The next one we'll see about artificial selection. So this artificial selection is mainly a byproduct of human exploitation, forest, ocean, fisheries, using a number of pesticides, herbicides. So human exploitation. So the selection is done by human being. We are selecting artificially. So who is selecting? Selection done by human beings. And this is also called as selective breeding. So we can see various types of dogs here, right? Various varieties of dogs. But all these dogs are variants of a single species of dog. The common ancestor for all these dogs are a single species of the dog. So these are, we call it as the selected various type of all these dogs are variants of a single species of dog. If human beings can produce new varieties of dog species within a short period of time, then the nature, okay, nature with its more quantity of resources, with a long duration, it can produce new species. That is called selection. So if it is artificial selection by human being, but nature select means that is called as natural selection. Yes, thank you.